Hey there, and welcome. So, let's talk about a feeling that I think we all know a little too well, that feeling of being stuck. Today, we're going to dig into how we can move from that feeling of stagnation to really feeling engaged. And it all comes down to one crucial shift. We're going to stop finding our purpose and start actively building it. Does this sound familiar? You're working hard, you're checking off all the boxes you're supposed to. On the outside, it looks like you're making progress. But deep down, there's this little voice, right? This nagging feeling that something's just missing. It's like you're running as fast as you can, but you're not actually going anywhere. And honestly, it can be incredibly draining. So where does that feeling even come from? Well, a lot of the time, it actually starts with the advice we're all given. Just find your passion or go discover your one true calling. But here's the irony. That intense pressure to find this one single perfect thing, it often does the exact opposite of what it's supposed to. It paralyzes us. And this quote just nails it. We trick ourselves into thinking we're being productive because we're searching for our purpose. But in reality, that huge, overwhelming quest just stops us from taking the small, meaningful steps that are right in front of us. It becomes this really noble-sounding excuse to just wait. Okay, so let's really break down this myth we've all been sold, this idea that our purpose is just going to magically appear one day. It's a really powerful misconception, and trust me, it's holding so many of us back. We all have this picture in our heads, don't we? It's like there's a giant spotlight sweeping across the dark sky, and one day, bam, it's going to land on our hidden treasure chest labeled purpose, and suddenly everything will make sense. The real problem here is that we spend all our time staring up at the sky, waiting for that light, instead of looking at the ground right beneath our feet. And this leads to two classic traps. First up, you've got the grand searcher. This person is so busy scanning the distant horizon with a telescope, looking for something massive, that they completely miss the opportunities right in front of them. And then, oh, this one's a classic, the frustrated one. This person is literally sitting on their own treasure chest of purpose, but can't see it because their gaze is locked on some far-off imaginary goal. And this is the big mistake we all make. We confuse purpose with a destination. You know, getting that job title, hitting that salary number, having some kind of public recognition. We chase these external goals, and hey, even when we get them, that feeling of fulfillment is usually pretty short-lived. And that's because purpose isn't the destination itself. It's the engine that powers the journey. So what this really calls for is a huge shift in how we think about this. The answer isn't to look harder on the outside. It's to start looking inward and to finally realize that purpose isn't something you find, it's something you build. Just look at the difference here. The old mindset, finding purpose, is all about looking outward, passively waiting for some big lightning strike moment. But the new mindset, building purpose, is about looking inward. It's an active process, a creative one, made up of lots of small, consistent actions. See, it's not a place you arrive at, it's the way you choose to travel. Let's give this whole new approach a name, okay? We'll call it meaning mode. This is simply the conscious decision to stop chasing some vague, abstract feeling and instead to start actively building a sense of purpose with the tools and opportunities you have right now, today. Okay, so you might be thinking, this sounds great, but how do I actually do it? How do I switch into meaning mode? Well, we can start with a really simple but powerful tool I like to call the service and joy test. Think of this as your new compass. The first part of this is all about contribution. It asks you to look outward, but not for applause or validation. It's for impact. You ask yourself, what can I do that genuinely helps someone else, even in a really small way? This isn't about saving the world overnight. It's about making a real, positive difference right where you are. Now, the second question flips the script and turns the focus inward. What activities bring you that authentic, internal sense of fulfillment? Not for any reward, not for praise from someone else, but just for the sheer joy of doing it. This is so important because this is the fuel for your journey. And this is where it all comes together. The magic happens right here, at the intersection. When you find something that combines what genuinely helps others with what brings you that intrinsic joy, you found it. That's your source of forward momentum. That is your actionable purpose. And listen, this isn't some abstract theory. Think about it in real terms. Maybe you mentor a newer teammate, not just because you feel like you should, but because you genuinely love making complicated things simple for other people. That's service and joy. Or maybe you're the one who organizes the neighborhood block party because you just thrive on bringing people together. That's it, right there. Okay, so we've got the mindset, we've got the compass. Now let's get super practical. Let's talk about a 3-step action plan you can use to start building meaning today without having to quit your job or overhaul your entire life. We're gonna walk through 3 really simple habits. We've got the gratitude to action flip, time blocking your joy, and the tiny tweak test. I promise, these are small shifts that can create some really significant results. All right, let's start with step 1. A lot of us practice gratitude, which is fantastic, but we can take it one step further. So, let's say you're grateful for your morning coffee. Don't just stop there. Ask who was served by this. Think about the farmer who grew the beans, the roaster, the barista who made it. This simple flip connects your personal appreciation to this whole network of service, and it shifts you from just passively being grateful to actively engaging with the world. Step 2 is, and I mean this, non-negotiable. Building purpose takes energy, and joy is your fuel. So I want you to look at your calendar right now and physically schedule 30 minutes for something that brings you pure joy, with zero expectation of an outcome. No strings attached. It could be reading, playing music, going for a walk. By recharging your battery, you are serving your future, more purposeful self. And finally, step 3. And this is a big one because it's not about looking for a massive career change. Instead, I want you to look at a small, everyday task in your current life. Ask yourself, how can I do this with just 10% more care or service or heart? Maybe it's answering an email, not just efficiently, but with real warmth and clarity. That tiny tweak transforms a boring task into a meaningful action. You start building purpose right inside the life you already have. So as we start to bring this all together, I really want you to remember that this isn't about some dramatic overnight transformation. It's about a quiet, steady, daily commitment to meaning. It's time to let go of the idea that purpose is a light switch that's just going to suddenly flip on. Stop craning your neck, looking up at the sky, waiting for that imaginary spotlight to find you. The power isn't out there somewhere. It's right here with you. Because here's the real takeaway. The thing I really want you to remember, purpose isn't a discovery. It's a creation. It's a fire. And you don't find a fire, you build it. You start with a tiny spark, that little intersection of service and joy. And you tend to it day after day with small, consistent, meaningful actions, one piece of kindling at a time. So, I'll leave you with this one question. Forget about finding your grand, lifelong passion for just a minute. Look at the day ahead of you. What is one tiny tweak, one small action you can take with just 10% more care, 10% more service, or 10% more heart? Start there, because that is how you begin to build your fire.